We went exploring in the old drain tunnels beneath my town. It was a mistake to come here. By Skelepound. My name is Gabriel, and I have no idea where I am. It was about a day ago when it started. My family is what you'd call successful. My grandfather was a stockbroker, and back in the 70s, he made a killing. He retired for a few years, but when video games started to really explode, he opened a couple arcades, and well, it was a smart move at the time. Now, they don't make all that much money, but we're still pretty well provided for, via all the cash he hoarded before the arcade crash. Just a bit of background. For my 22nd birthday, I had a hell of a time. All my friends together, we pretty much rented the entire bar and got entirely hammered. And that's when Zach had an idea. It was a completely idiotic idea in hindsight, but well, we were drunk, and we went along with it. For whatever reason, Zach thought it would be a good idea to go exploring the dark old drain tunnels beneath the town. I've always been a fan of horror. Me and Zach became buddies due to a shared interest there, and the easiest way into the old tunnels is about 4 minutes by foot from the bar. So we said screw it, finished our drinks, and wandered out to go on an adventure. At first, we were honestly too inebriated to even feel fear. Not only that, but another of my friends, Tony, was there. A bit of background on Tony. He's a really nice guy, literally one of the most outgoing, friendly, and altruistic guys I know, and he could kill all of us with his bare hands if he ever wanted to. His dad started him on karate when he was 4. I've seen him take down 3 guys single-handedly without breaking a sweat, and then apologize afterwards. He's the real deal, and so naturally, any thoughts of what if some psycho was lurking in these tunnels was easy to push aside. No psycho would be a match for Tony. You'd need about 10 minimum. And so we laughed and tried to spook each other and wandered too far into that darkness, with nothing but shitty phone flashlights to guide our way. The drink started to wear off a bit, and that's when Julio, the 4th and final member of our little expedition team, asked if anybody had kept track of all the twists and turns. We got creeped out for a minute, but our phones still had signal, albeit not great. Even if we were lost, we could dial 911 and somebody would come for us. So maybe we were lost, but it didn't matter. It was my birthday, and we were having fun, and Tony was with us. Until he wasn't. I don't know when he disappeared, and I don't know where he is now. I want to believe that he got out, that he changed his mind and went back and left us here. It would be a selfish, shitty thing to do, but I would forgive him. We called out his name, again and again, tried to backtrack, but nothing. He was gone, one way or another. And that's when we got scared. None of us were what you'd call badasses by any definition of the word, and while our town is on the small side, it has a big meth problem. I'll tell you this now, there weren't any meth heads down in the tunnels. At least, no living ones. We found the body while we were looking for Tony. It was rotted all to hell, but there was still an old black hoodie clinging to what was left of the torso. So obviously, it couldn't be Tony. He came in wearing a white tank top. He had the whole Bruce Lee look going on. But that corpse sobered us up in an instant. After we finished vomiting and screaming and generally losing our collective shit, Julio decided it was time to dial 911. His phone can't make a call while the flashlight's on though, so with shaking hands, he deactivated it and started to dial. That's when we saw Decay. You knew, the instant you saw it, that its name was Decay. Elemental and pure, decomposition and entropy given gruesome, abominable form. It was decay itself, and Julio didn't even have time to scream. It engulfed him in an instant, in a body born of worms and bone and long dead flesh, and he was gone. Julio didn't have time to scream, but we did. An instant later we were running, Zach and I no longer concerned with getting out, We sprinted away in that damp darkness, deeper into the tunnels. Anything to get away from that horror, the living embodiment of the inevitable. And after a while, fear gave way to exhaustion. We collapsed onto the wet ground and we wept, uncontrollably for, God, about an hour? More? You lose track of time when you're traumatized by the impossible. And when we collected ourselves, Tony and I did the same thing. We called 911 and shakily told them that we were lost in the tunnels, that 2 of our friends were missing, that we needed help. The officer on the other end seemed tired at first, the end of a long shift getting to him. But the moment we mentioned the tunnels, his voice changed. It became grave and stern. Stay where you are. Keep both of your lights on and we'll try to find you. Those were his words. We'll try to find you. No guarantees, no promises. He knew what we weren't saying, what we wouldn't dare say. Not because we were afraid that he wouldn't believe us, but because we didn't want to believe ourselves. We sat in silence for a while, and then Zach stood up. He said he wanted to look for a way out, that there was no way he was going to just sit and wait for someone to find him. What he meant was, he wasn't going to wait for decay to find us. I tried to stop him, but maybe a part of me wanted him to go. Maybe to find his way out, to lead the officers back to me so that we could both escape with our lives. Or maybe I thought that if he was taken by that thing, it would be sated, that it might let me go. Pretty selfish, right? Now you know why I wouldn't judge Tony for leaving us if he did indeed leave us and get out. I've been laying here since then. It's been more than 12 hours. Must be daylight out now for a long time. Nobody's found me so far, but I don't have much time left. My phone's battery is running low. It's below 20%. Another hour or 2, and I'll lose my light. Actually, less than that. The flashlight stops working at about 5%. I'm not sure whether I should sit here and wait, whether I should try to find a way out, or if maybe I should just turn out my light now. It's still here, somewhere. Zach didn't get out. Tony didn't get out. And God knows Julio won't ever leave this place. I'm just kidding myself, hoping that they escaped. I can try to leave the light on, to hold out for a little while longer, to cling to the tiniest shred of hope that somehow this place won't be my grave. But in the end, you can't outrun death forever, and you can't outrun decay. Thank you guys for listening to this story, written by Skelepound. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll subscribe so you don't miss next week's story. If you'd like to send me a story of your own, you can send it to awfultoastreads@gmail.com. I'll leave the email in the description down below, and I hope you have a good day. Happy Halloween.